This is my how are you song. This is my how do you do song. And I'm so glad we are here. This is my I miss you song. This is my how can you do song. And I'm so glad we are here. And you know, Tart and Bit and Billy will come to visit. And I'm so glad we are here.
One more time.
This is my how are you song. This is my how do you song. And I'm so glad we are here. This is my I miss you song. This is my I love you song. And I'm so glad we are here. Yes, I'm so glad we are here.
Yay!
Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Family Connection Wednesday night. We're so glad to have you with us. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. How's everyone doing today? It was a beautiful, beautiful day. Yes.
Gigi is a bread love.
Yep, Gigi's with us today, although he's on the other side of the screen. But yeah, the sun was shining. The weather was fairly warm, although I hear that that's changing, and tomorrow it's going to be very cold, but that's going to be perfect for our snow experiment for this week. But before we get into that, I want to know what's outside your window. So you go check, and we'll go check, and then we'll report back. All right, so we know it's dark out. Ooh, I see some Christmas lights still up that people have at their window.
Now we are melting snow.
Yeah, our melting snow people. Snow people are still there, but they are a lot smaller. Some of them lost their heads. There is some snow, although not as much as we used to have because we did have a lot of melting going on. But do you remember last week when we had those mason jars? One was full of
Water.
one was full of
Ice.
and one was full of snow. And we were trying to determine whether or not we thought that there was going to be more water in the jar that was for the water, or the jar of snow, or the jar of ice, right? Well, today I'm going to show you our results. I don't know if you at home did your experiment, but we did ours. And I'm glad to see that those of you joining us are going to find out the results. So I know that Kathy Anderson and Katie is going to see the results, and Kathy Schumann's going to see the results, and Clara's going to see the results. So I'm glad to see, and all the rest of you who haven't chatted but are still with us. Okay, so I'm going to move the screen back a little and bring it down so that you can see. This was the water jar, all right? So that's how much water we put in the water jar, right? Then this, after all the ice melted, that is how much water was left in our ice jar.
What did they pick?
And then this is how much was left in our snow jar. So really, it wasn't very easy to tell between snow and ice, but I did a very good experiment. I was like staring at it, holding them close to each other, and I determined that by only a little bit, the ice won. I mean, the water won, obviously, because there's more water, but between the ice and snow, there was more water after the ice melted than there was water after the snow melted. So,
Look at the jar.
if you picked water, you were right, just because I filled it more up. But if you were trying to determine between the snow and the ice won. Hands down.
Yay.
So that was a cool experiment. Now, for this week, I thought it would be cool because we have such cold temperatures coming up. This week we're going to do something called freezing bubbles. All right? So it's pretty cool, and it's going to be nice and cold tomorrow. So you have to find a place outside in your yard that doesn't get very much wind, I think is what I want to say, because in order to get the bubbles to freeze, you don't want a bunch of wind blowing the bubbles and breaking them. And what you're going to need is, if you have your own bubble solution, great. If you don't, it's really easy to make. So I filled this measuring cup with 1 cup of water, and then I put in 2 tablespoons of corn syrup, and then I put in 4 tablespoons of dish soap. Now the dish soap is what causes the bubbles, and the corn syrup kind of helps the bubbles stay together a little bit more, rather than just pop right away. So this is my bubble mixture, and I'm going to divide it into 2 cups so that Ava and Amelia can blow their own bubbles. You want to blow, not, because you're going to be using straws, and you're going to want to blow out, not blow in. Ooh, you do not want a mouthful of bubble mixture. So Amelia will have this one, Ava will have this one. So when you do this experiment, you want to do it outside at the place where you're going to set your cup. You want to blow as many bubbles as you can in your cup, and then watch what happens to the bubbles in the cold, cold air. You might see the bubbles changing color. You might see the bubbles getting harder, and experiment with it and see what happens. It's pretty cool. All right. Ooh, I see that David has joined us. Yay. Hi, David. We are doing a cool bubble experiment. You get bubble solution, you bring it outside in a place that's not very windy, but out in the cold, and you can watch bubbles freeze. So girls, demonstrate for us how much bubbles you can blow out of this. I mean, in regards to this.
Okay.
Blow out. So that's what you're going to be doing. And then you're going to stop outside. You're going to see what the bubbles do. I'd say Amelia won this one. So pretty. And then you'll notice when you do it outside, wow, that they'll freeze, they'll change color. So try it tomorrow, because tomorrow is supposed to be really cold. But make sure that you do it in a place that isn't very windy. That's amazing. All right, now I'm going to move this over, and Ava, you can move yours over, and if you girls want to stay off screen and continue blowing bubbles, ooh, you want to get a rag for that, Ava?
Yeah.
We are going to turn things over to Billy, actually, this week. Billy is joining us along with Big Hammy. I don't know if anyone remembers her, but she hasn't joined us in a while, and Big Hammy is joining us, or she's joining Billy tonight.
It tastes disgusting.
Yeah, I bet it didn't taste good. Bubbles look pretty, but they don't taste good. It looks like Kathy Schumann has done this experiment before. Very cool. So I think it'll be a fun one for all of you to do. But anyway, I'm going to turn it over to Billy and Big Hammy.
And Bit, explain it.
And this one is a special one I received for Christmas from a very special friend. You know, I received so many special gifts from people. I think it's because I'm so knowledgeable about toys. And everyone thinks my opinion is most important. And it's true, I am so smart when it comes to toys and stuff. In fact, more often than not, people come to me with questions. Probably because I always know how to help, you know? It's tiring sometimes being so knowledgeable about so many things, but that's just how the fish flops sometimes. And I don't mind. I am the best and the greatest at being able to understand toys and collecting them and stuff.
Big Hammy? Big Hammy? Big Hammy?
And you know, I never make mistakes when it comes to toys and collections like that. I know the first thing. Before anyone else, I know what the first toys are going to be coming out. All the new releases, I know them before anyone else. I'm on the very exclusive VIP list for all the new arrivals. And
Big Hammy, I hate to interrupt, but I'm afraid that there's a problem.
what?
Well, I'm afraid you're having a problem with being humble, as in you're not humble at all.
Humble? Why should I be humble? I mean, I'm the best.
Yeah, well, that's just it. You spend so much time convincing others and talking about how great your collection is and stuff like that. Like you're not even able to enjoy any of the toys with your friends or anything. I've been learning about the Beatitudes. I've been studying them with my friend Turt, and the first Beatitude talks about blessings to people who are humble.
It does?
Yes. Jesus said, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for they shall inherit the kingdom of heaven." And poor in spirit means those who are humble in spirit, those who are humble and can make changes in their lives. They can repent. They can be humble about their actions and their talents and abilities.
What is inherit the kingdom of heaven?
Well, it means that having a humble spirit and being willing to change if you find things in your life that need to be changing, well, God will bless you. God will bless you when you do that.
Well, gee, Billy, I don't want to be braggy hammy. I want to be aware of mistakes that I've made or bad attitudes that I've had. Well, thank you for bringing this to my attention. Sometimes I get so carried away, and I do tend to brag. Oh, in fact, you know what? I think that I should just stop talking right now, and I think we should take these toys of mine, and we should play with them instead of talk about them.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah. That sounds great.
All right, so we had an issue with Big Hammy. She had a lot to say, and a lot of it had to do with how great she was with her toy collection and all that stuff. And I think Billy did notice that she was being very braggy, and he brought up the first beatitude that Jesus shared. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for they shall inherit the kingdom of heaven. Another way to look at that is to say, blessed are people who are humble, who are not full of pride, who are not talking themselves up and bragging all the time, but who are aware that we all make mistakes, and if we're willing to change and move on and be humble about our abilities and the things that we're capable of and the blessings that we have, then God will bless us. So that's what Billy and Big Hammy were talking about. And that first beatitude is in Matthew chapter 5, verse 3. And we're going to sing a little song that we're going to be adding on to every week that has all the Beatitudes in it. So this first week we're going to be talking about blessed are the humble of spirit, for theirs is the kingdom. That's what we're going to be singing. But I have a question. I have my dad coming over tomorrow to tune our piano, which is why it looks very bare over here. Usually we have stuff all over the piano, right? But it's going to get tuned, which means it has to be opened up, which means we had to clean it off. But I thought that would be a perfect time for all of you to see what it looks like inside of a piano. How many of you have seen the inside of a piano? Well, Ava has, because we already cleaned it and looked at it, but it's pretty cool. So I'm going to open up the piano, and then I'm going to carry you, or basically carry my computer over so you can get a good look at it, all right? So first we're going to open it. The way that you open this piano is, there we go. Wow. Now I'm going to pick you up, and I'm going to take you over here so you can stop. Let's not play it right now. Let's just take a look to see, Amelia, careful please, at the inside of the piano. Now, I've never had to hold a computer and show things, but these are all little knobs that are holding on to wires. And these wires connect down over here, and they get plunked by hammers. The hammers bonk the string and makes the noise. Pretty cool. I'm just going to move it over a little bit so you can see all the way down to the low ones. Play the low keys, Ava. pretty neato kino. And so tomorrow, I'm going to carefully carry you back. Tomorrow we're going to have that piano, hopefully, tuned super nice. Because my dad, he was able to tune the piano at his place, and now he's going to come and tune the piano here. Our piano isn't terribly out of tune, but it could use a little bit of a tune-up. It's a little bit off. So I thought that was fun. You could see what that was like. What else? Yep, there's Gigi sitting on his favorite spot. Gigi loves sitting right here on this computer bag. It's his favorite spot to sit and judge us all. Ooh.
We painted some stuff today.
Yes, we did paint some stuff. But I did want to say, if you guys had received a letter from me recently in the mail, inside of it were self-addressed stamped envelopes, which means there was an envelope in it that had a stamp and it had my address on it. And I've received some mail from you guys, and I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for taking the time to say hello and send me a message, because I love getting messages from you all, because I miss you guys. And so I wanted to put an envelope in there so that you would have an easy time of just writing or drawing something, sticking in the envelope and putting it in the mailbox, and then it comes to me and I get so excited. And I also think, oh, I miss my friends, I miss my church friends. But those letters meant a lot. So thank you to those of you who sent me something. Amelia wants to show what they worked on. This was their art for today. We got these ceramic unicorns that they painted. Very fun, colorful, unique horses.
This was mine.
All right, well, I feel like it's about time to get up and move. So, here we go. Move this chair out of the way. Woo. Time to get up and move. Whoa. It's time to get up and move. Get out of your chair. Bring your arms up high and wave them in the sky. Now bend down low and touch your toes. Come on, everybody. Come on, move your body. Now tiptoe around. Tiptoe on your house. Now stumble around and be really, really, really loud. Then twirly, whirly, whirly any way that you want. Yes, sirree. All right, perfectly timed sneeze. Now we are going to do the first verse of this Beatitude song. Now you're going to have to give me a minute to get into it because it was one that I put together. Blessed are the humble in spirit, theirs is the kingdom. Blessed are the humble in spirit, theirs is the kingdom. That's how the song goes. Let's try it. Blessed are the humble in spirit, theirs is the kingdom. Blessed are the humble in spirit, theirs is the kingdom. Oh, 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 oh. Let's sing again. Blessed are the humble in spirit, theirs is the kingdom. Blessed are the humble in spirit, theirs is the kingdom. Oh, oh, oh yeah. Now, each week we're going to add the next Beatitude, but that's the tune of our song. And then I thought we could end with, I've got the joy, joy, joy down in my heart. All right. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart to stay. We need to go to the next verse. Sorry. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart. let's do it one more time. So we're going to go back to the top one and try not to hit the counter because it can be kind of loud. So back away from the counter. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart to stay. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart. Awesome! Thank you so much for singing and dancing and moving and grooving. Whew. Got that energy going. That was awesome.
Ava, come.
All right. So that was great. 1 second here. Have you ever been on a live stream and also sent a text message at the same time? I just did. It's kind of confusing. Anyway, I had a really good time today exploring the inside of a piano and learning about some bubble experiments that you guys, I hope, are going to do this weekend, and learning about ice melting compared to snow melting and this and that, and also getting the important first beatitude of being humble in spirit. So I think that's where we're at. Now, quick note, I've already sent this email to your parents, but we are changing our programming just a little bit. You normally have our Zoom Kid get-togethers on Thursday evenings. We're changing things. Today, we had our live stream on YouTube, which is this right here. Hello.
Hello.
Next Wednesday, we're going to do our Zoom Kids get-together. So every other week, we're going to have a live stream event or a Zoom Kids get-together. So we're switching things up a little bit, which means that we will get together on Zoom next Wednesday, 6:30 at the same time, and we're going to have some fun, and we're going to catch up and do our highs and lows and do some trivia and do some sharing time, and that'll be our social get-together. And then the week after that, we'll get back on here for our Zoom Kids for our live stream. So anyway, a little bit of a change, but it'll be good because we're all doing it on one day of the week rather than all of the different days.
Mom,
so,
what is all like show and tell?
well, I haven't figured that out, but you'll find out before next week. So, with that, I'm going to say a quick word of prayer, and then we're going to do our With You song. So, here we go. Thank you, Lord, that we could have this time together today and find out some cool science projects that we can work on and see some cool things that we might not have with the piano and learn the importance of recognizing our gifts and abilities, but also being humble about what we're capable of and giving our thanks to you for the gifts and talents that you've given us. Thank you for such a beautiful day today, and I pray that this weekend will be a nice time for families to be together and to catch up on things or just to rest and take time to take it easy. And I just pray that you will help us with any stresses that we're feeling, help us to stay encouraged, and thank you for being a big support in all of our lives. And all God's children said, Amen! All right, so let's finish things off with our song, With You. All right. The clouds are in the sky, but they are not as high as I am. The frogs, they hop and hop, and they never stop like me. I think of all the things I've done and all the things to do. It's so good to be alive. It's so good to be alive with you. One more time. The clouds are in the sky, but they are not as high as I am. The frogs, they hop and hop, and they never stop like me. I think of all the things I've done and all the things to do. It's so good to be alive. It's so good to be alive with you. be with you all. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And I look forward to seeing you face to face on Zoom next week. But until then, peace! And we're gonna hold it
Bye.
until it's time
I
to
miss
end
you.
stream.
Bye. Can't wait to see you on Zoom. Bye. Bye. Bye.
You can stop saying bye. They've all left.
Oh.
Probably.
Bye.